Hello, my name is William Rojas, and this is my senior consulting project. I'm here with my father-in-law, Courtney Crossgrove. Courtney, when were you born?
1953,
What was the month and day?
January 22.
Okay. Where did you grow up?
All over the United States. I was born in California, just east of LA. We lived there for a couple of years. My dad was in the Air Force, so every 3 years we picked up and moved. Lived down in Homestead, down in Miami,
Okay.
and then lived on Cape Cod. And then my dad retired in Minnesota, Minneapolis.
And then you stayed there for a while?
We were there for about 13 years, and then I moved back to Florida.
Okay. You didn't like the cold?
It was pretty cold, minus 40.
Do you have any siblings?
I've got a brother, a sister. They're all older than me, and a half-brother.
And you said your dad was in the military. What did he do in the military?
He was in the Air Force, and his last job was training pilots on the theory of flight.
Okay. And did your mom work?
She worked right before I left to come back to Florida as a waitress.
Okay. Cool. And did you ever go to like college at all?
Did some junior college and a little bit of college, but never graduated.
Okay. What were you studying?
The last part was business administration.
Okay. Cool. And what did you do for like a living before?
Well, had lots of jobs.
Well,
Started out as a photo lab technician.
nice.
How
How old are you?
What's that?
How old are you when you were a photo lab technician?
Was 17, 18.
Okay.
Before that, I had paper route at 12 years old, and worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken at 15 years old. Then moved to Florida here and became a biomedical equipment technologist, repairing medical equipment for hospitals and doctor's office. And then worked at TRW Financial Data Systems, repairing automated tellers and stuff like that.
Wow.
And then I went to work for ExxonMobil Office Systems, repairing and building fax machines. Then I started work at Martin Marietta, that became Lockheed Martin.
Okay. What did you do at Lockheed Martin? If you could tell me. If you can't, then that's fine.
I was basically an electronic technician. We communications, all sorts of things.
So, did you find success in that career? And how long were you there for?
I was there 33 years.
Wow, that's a long time. I guess you did.
I retired there.
Okay.
We had 13 months over in Switzerland, doing a project over there for them.
Wow. That's awesome. So, what do you remember the most in like history, like events that happened while you were growing up?
Met John Kennedy.
Nice.
When we lived in Cape Cod. His son that was born just passed away, so he flew into the Air Force Base that my dad was at, the Sac Air Force Base, and we got to meet him on the tarmac, and he shook our hands. I was just a little kid by then.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that was kind of cool.
Pretty cool. So, when your parents were alive, was it difficult, like adapting to you growing up at the same time as they were growing up?
My mom and dad were older parents at that point. So they were pretty much done growing up. But, like I said, every 3 years we picked up and moved. So we had to make new friends wherever we went.
Okay. Okay. What kind of music did you listen to growing up when you were younger?
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll?
Rock and
Cool.
roll.
Awesome. How do you feel about this generation nowadays? Do you think they have it easier than when you had it when you were younger?
They have to learn a lot more faster than we ever had to. A lot of the younger employees that I worked with before I left, they didn't seem to have the same drive or care about the work they were doing. It's just like, I don't want to do that. And it's like, that was never
an issue before.
Yeah.
Like you think it's more instilled.
You do this. This is your job.
So it's more instilled in like your generation, pretty much. You think like that work ethic, where
I mean, they still have good work ethics.
Yeah.
But it's just different.
Of course.
And the technology is come a long ways, and
how do you feel about getting older? And when did you realize I feel like I'm getting older?
I've never felt like I'm getting older, but man, sometimes it's tough to get around.
Okay, so you notice like maybe you have
aches and pains.
Yeah, aches and pains and stuff like that.
Eyesight goes.
Oh yeah. What was your favorite age if you could go back? If there was like a specific time period, like your 20s or something that you enjoyed the most, or 30s, or teenagers, or kid?
Pretty much loved all the time that I've ever been in.
That's awesome.
But, when my kids were young, that was probably the best.
The best time?
Yeah.
Do you feel you would want to live like longer, like an extra 50 or 100 years if you could? Or
I'm going to try to.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
As long as I'm still mentally able to.
So like you were talking before, the aches and pains. How do you feel about staying healthy and adjusting to certain limitations? Does that affect you a lot, or?
Yeah. Some of the retirement decisions that I had to make were health related.
Okay.
And you just have to pace yourself.
Yeah.
At a slower pace,
Yeah.
Take your time to do stuff.
I see you've lost weight though. You lost weight recently.
A little bit, not much.
That's good.
Not as much as I want.
That's good. At what age did you plan retirement, and have you seen success in doing so?
When I was in my teenage years, I figured 25 and I was going to retire. I'd have enough money, put it away. Yeah, well, that didn't seem to work out too good.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of snuck up on me, but I've always tried to plan for retirement, and I was able to retire at 60.
Okay, cool. Very good. How do you feel about launching your children into a responsible and happy adulthood?
They're all very good children, and they're very responsible, and they work hard. I mean, and they have had to learn a lot.
Yeah, of course. Do you have a favorite? I won't tell any of them.
All of them.
Okay.
They're all favorites.
When was your happiest time in life? Do you have a specific time? I think you said when they were growing up. Did you like it when they were real young? Was that your favorite?
No,
and seeing them?
That was really, really cool. I mean, my childhood was okay. We were pretty poor, since my dad was in the military.
Of course.
But we had good times. But with my kids, watching them grow up and discover and learn, just really, really was cool.
Cool.
I got to be a kid all over again.
That's awesome. Did you have a memorable moment, maybe a worst time in life that you can remember?
Yeah. both my divorces were
We're tough, probably.
really, really bad. And the second divorce, my mom was also dying. So
Oh yeah, that makes it rough for sure.
Yeah.
It's a hard adjustment. Do you enjoy being a grandfather now that you're one?
It's interesting. It was kind of scary. I mean, my kids, they were small. I'm talking small, but it's like this one. I don't know. It's kind of scary because you know what could go wrong. And it's like you don't do that when your kids are growing up because you just react as you go.
Yeah. But you've been through this situation before, so you feel like you can kind of give some insight, probably, and stuff.
Yeah, some insight, but it's like take my advice or not. It doesn't matter.
That's true. What do you want your grandchildren to remember you? Like, how do you want them to remember you? Like,
I don't know.
Just like friendly grandpa, happy grandpa.
Yeah.
Noble grandfather, giving advice.
Advice, noble. I don't know about noble.
Because when I was younger, I remember my grandfather always told me know a second language and stuff like that. Is that some kind of advice you would give your kids, go to school maybe for your grandchildren?
Oh yeah, definitely try to learn as many languages as you can so you can relate to as many people as you possibly can.
Go to school, do better. Okay, cool. So what do you want your children to remember you? How do you want them to remember you?
Good dad.
Good dad.
Yeah.
Great dad. Did you have any pets growing up?
We had all kinds of pets. Gerbils and hamsters and guinea pigs and snakes and frogs and lizards and dogs and cats.
Just a whole bunch of animals.
Yeah, oh yeah. Anything that we found outside.
That's pretty cool. So do you expect, so since you know that you're going to have since you know that you have a grandchild right now, and you said that you wish you could learn more, teach your children more about maybe children, are you excited to have more grandchildren maybe?
Yeah, but it's kind of scary. But yeah, it's if that's what they want, because children are a definite change of life.
Of course. Do you remember when we landed on the moon? Do you remember that day, 1969?
Sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember when Kennedy was assassinated.
Oh yeah. So how was that when Kennedy was assassinated? Because your father was in the military at that time, right?
Yeah, at the time he was still in the military.
So what happened for you guys around that time?
A lot of the bases went on alert, but it was they closed school for that day. I mean, they sent everyone home.
Oh wow! And because it was, well, then after that, probably the day after, things resumed normally because it was domestic.
No, it was still. Schools were still shut down.
Really?
A lot of businesses had closed their doors.
Wow.
The nation was grieving for quite a while.
Wow. And then the moon, was that amazing to see it? Did you see it on TV or?
Saw the pictures on TV until they swung the camera around and they got a glint of the sun in it and it burned the camera out.
Oh my God!
But yeah, it was real exciting and the pictures were just horribly grainy, but it was really exciting to see that we made it off this planet.
That's awesome. So that's pretty much it, Courtney. Is there any advice you want to give the students at UCF about getting older, growing up? Any wisdom?
Well, never do anything that you would be ashamed to tell your mom about.
Okay.
Work as if you're working for God and not someone else.
Okay.
try to be good people.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you very much, Courtney.
Sure.